Hi, this is Marilyn. Oh, no, this is not Marilyn Price. This is Tomie. Tommie's the hero of our story. And as you can tell, if you can, he's a puppet. And he comes right out of this book called The Art Lesson. I love this. Oh, I put the book down. Book is by Tomie dePaoli. 1989 is when it was published. And as many of these wonderful books of Tomie dePaoli's are, it's about him. So I highly recommend it. Can you read it? Little Tommy, you're 5 years old in this story. It is no coincidence that the hero of our story is named Tommy, because I believe, and you will too as you listen to it, that it is all about him. So I'm going to put the book down so that we can make magic together. So here, gently down. I'm going to put it gently down. But if you hear a thud, you too am putting it down. Why don't you do that, Tommy? You're not doing anything right now. Thank you so much. Would you come back here after you're done, please? Excellent. Oh, do such a gentle job. Tommy, a hero of our story, and Tomie dePaoli. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Tommy's work. His work is quite fantastic, but I also want to invite you to be a part of the story. And this is how that works. I invite you all to take a big or small piece of paper, whatever you got handy. It can be an old piece of paper, and whatever you like to draw with. Tommy, in our story, is very fond of crayons, and I can resonate. I can understand that because that's what I used to draw when I was a kid. And I love to go back to crayons as well. So I have given Tommy his very own crayon. And throughout our entire story, he's going to be drawing pictures. He draws everything. And I'd like you to do the same, which means you take out a piece of paper, and as the story moves along, just draw. I know you can listen and draw at the same time. And then when we're all done, see what you've got. And often, what you have drawn is a good recollection of the story. So try it out. Some people give it a fancy name they call it doodling. And I like to doodle as well. So if you are ready, you've got your paper, you've got your Tommy, as you can see, has a lovely crayon. And he's going to draw. I gave him a great big pad of paper today. And you do the same and enjoy. If you happen to have a puppet, great. If you don't, that's fine too, because this is a story about art. A little bit about Tommy, okay? Tomie dePaoli was an American writer and illustrator who created more than 260 children's books and received the Children's Literature Legacy Award for his lifetime contribution to American children's literature in 2011. He also won the Caldecott Medal and so many more things too. This particular book, Tommy dedicated to his fifth grade teacher. So if you've had a fifth grade teacher or a favorite teacher, think about when you write a book, you can dedicate it to them as well. She always gave him more than one piece of paper, and you will see as we tell our story why that is important. He also dedicated it to Beulah Bowers, who he claims was the best art teacher any child could have had. So when you write your book, or when you draw your picture, or when you make your sculpture, or when you tell a story, dedicate it to someone. Make it special to them. This piece I dedicate to my friends at the Mentor Project who helped put all of this together. And a special thanks, Allah, via Tomie dePaoli, went to Binney and Smith. What did they do? They made Crayolas, and they still do. Now we hear The Art Lesson by Tomie dePaoli. Okay, Tommy, start to draw. Tommy knew that he wanted to be an artist when he grew up. He drew pictures everywhere he went. It was his favorite thing to do. His friends had favorite things to do too. Jack collected all kinds of turtles. Herbie made huge cities in his sandbox. Jeanie, Tommy's best friend, could do cartwheels and stand on her head. But Tommy drew and drew and drew. His twin cousins, who were already grown up, they were in art school learning to be real artists. They told him not to copy and to practice, practice, practice. And so he did. Tommy put his pictures all around the house. He put them on his half of the room, on the walls, of course. His mom put them all around the house as well. His dad took them to the barber shop where he worked. Tom and Nana, Tommy's Irish grandfather and grandmother, had pictures in their grocery store. What do you do? You're putting pictures on me? Okay, that's okay. Nana Fall River, that means she lived in Fall River, his Italian grandmother, put them in a special frame on the table next to the picture of Aunt Chloe in her wedding dress. Tommy, what are you doing? Once Tommy took a flashlight and a pencil under his covers and drew pictures on his sheets. But when his mom changed the sheets, she said, "No more drawing on the sheets, Tommy." His mom and dad were having a new house built. So Tommy drew pictures of what it would look like when it was finished. When the walls were up, one of the carpenters gave Tommy a big piece of blue chalk. And Tommy took the chalk and drew beautiful pictures all over the unfinished walls. Ow, Tommy. Oh. But when the painters came, his dad said, "That's it, Tommy. No more drawing on the walls." Tommy couldn't wait to go to kindergarten. His brother, Joe, had told him there was a real art teacher who came to school to give art lessons. "When do we have our art lessons?" Tommy asked his kindergarten teacher. "Oh, you won't have art lessons till next year," said Miss Bird. "But we're going to paint pictures today." It wasn't much fun. The paint was awful, and the paper got all wrinkly, and Miss Bird made the paint by pouring different colored powders into different jars and mixing them with water. The paint didn't stick to the paper, and it cracked. If it was windy, when Tommy carried his pictures home, the paint blew right off the paper. "At least you get more than one piece of paper in kindergarten," his brother Joe said. "When the art teacher comes, you only get one piece." Tommy knew that the art teacher came to school every other Wednesday. He could tell she was an artist because she wore a blue smock over her dress, and she always carried a big box of colored chalks. Once, Tommy and Jeanie looked at the drawings that were hung up in the hallway. They were done by the first graders. "Your pictures will be much better," Jeanie told Tommy. "Next year, when we have real art lessons, yours will be the best." Tommy could hardly wait. He practiced all summer. And then, on his birthday, which was right after school began, his mom and dad gave him a box of 64 Crayola crayons. Now, those of you who remember, regular boxes of crayons that had 8 had red, orange, I got that right, yellow, green, blue, violet, brown, and black. This box had so many other colors. It had blue violet, turquoise, red, orange, even gold, silver, and copper. Oh, Tommy was so excited. He could hardly sleep. "Class," said Miss Launders, the first grade teacher, "next month the art teacher will come to our room. So on Monday, instead of singing, we will practice using our crayons. On Monday, Tomie brought his 64 crayons to school. Miss Landers was not pleased. Everyone must use the same crayons, she said. School crayons. School crayons had only the same old 8 colors. As Miss Landers, passed them out to the class, she said, "These crayons are school property, so do not break them. Peel off the paper or wear down the points." "How am I supposed to practice being an artist with school crayons?" Tomie asked Jack and Herbie. "That's enough, Tomie," Miss Landers said, "and I want you to take those birthday crayons home and leave them there." And Joe, his brother, was right. They only got one piece of paper. Finally, the day of the art lesson came. Tomie could hardly sleep that night. The next morning, he hid a box of 64 crayons under his sweater. Not a good job of hiding, Tomie. And went off to school. He was ready. The classroom door opened, and in walked the art teacher. Miss Landers said, "Class, this is Mrs. Bowers, the art teacher. Patty, who is our paper monitor this week, will give you each one piece of paper. And remember, don't ruin it. It is the only piece you'll get. Now pay attention to Mrs. Bowers." And Mrs. Bowers began. "Because Thanksgiving is not too far away, we will learn to draw a pilgrim man, a pilgrim woman, a turkey. Watch carefully and copy me." Copy? Tomie knew that real artists didn't copy. This was terrible. This was supposed to be a real art lesson. He folded his arms and just sat there. "Now what's the matter?" Mrs. Landers asked. Tomie looked right past her and said to Mrs. Bowers directly, "I'm going to be an artist when I grow up, and my cousins told me that real artists don't copy. And besides, Mrs. Landers wouldn't let me use my own 64 Crayola crayons." Well, Mrs. Bowers said, "what are we going to do?" She turned to Miss Landers, and they whispered. Miss Landers nodded. "Now, Tomie," Mrs. Bowers said, "it wouldn't be fair to let you do something different from the rest of the class. But I have an idea. If you draw the Pilgrim Man and woman and the turkey, if there's any time left, I'll give you another piece of paper, and you can do your own picture with your own crayons. Can you do that?" "I'll try," said Tomie with a big smile. And he did. And he did. And he still does. Tomie, who we know was really Tomie dePaoli, drew for the rest of his life. And for that, we are grateful. So Tomie, my Tomie, take a bow. Excellent work. All you out there who have been drawing so diligently, take a good look at your picture. See what you've got there. Did you draw something that you will always have with you? Drawings are so expressive, as are these things that I have to say to you now. I would like to thank my friends at the Mentor Project. I'd particularly like to thank Aiden Weinberger and Tina Parker, who made this program possible. And don't forget, we are now on a podcast as well as on YouTube. So if you've been listening and you'd like to see, you can go to the podcast. Please subscribe, for there's lots of good programs brought to you by the Mentor Project. And me, I'm Marilyn Price, and this is Tomie, and he will always be drawing. I thank you so much for coming, and that is the end. Can you wave goodbye, Tomie? Thank you so much.